All right, everybody, it's time to lay down for bed and listen to a story. It's time for the night chicken, and you don't want to miss that now, do you? I didn't think so. Now, if everybody is ready, let's begin. Children, gather close and listen to the air. Do you hear how quiet the farm is tonight? That is the deep, sighing quiet that comes after a battle, when the moon hangs high like a referee whistle. It was the night after the great berry thicket skirmish. Oh, how weary the defenders were. The autumn air, usually crisp and invigorating, felt heavy with the scent of trampled leaves and exhaustion. Shy, Shorty, and Skinny were huddled inside the garden shed, their sanctuary smelling faintly of dried lavender and old wood. Skinny the raccoon, whose checkered bandana was usually tied so jauntily, had it drooped around his neck, sullied with sticky mud from where he'd taken a tumble near the night-end fence. "We lost 3 good handfuls of the winter stores, Shy," he lamented, his big eyes drooping. "Larry the fox and that noisy cousin of mine, Rory, they were too fast tonight. We were too slow." He traced a tired paw over a splinter in the wooden floor. Shorty the cat, who usually had a silver fire in his green eyes, just leaned against the wall, rubbing his torn ear. "It is true, night chicken. My legs are like cooked noodles. We've been running that fence for 3 nights straight. We are broken, little friend." Shy the night chicken was the smallest of the 3, but in that quiet, dim light she seemed to hold the whole shed up. Her sleek black feathers were ruffled, and the tiny crescent moon pendant on her leg gleamed faintly, but she did not droop. She tilted her small red comb, looking first at Shorty weariness and then at Skinny disappointment. "A broken thing still holds a promise," Shy said softly, her voice barely a whisper above the stirring wind. "When a branch breaks from the old oak tree, it doesn't stop being wood, does it? It simply becomes a bridge, or maybe a very fine walking stick." She walked to the woodpile corner where Skinny kept his most prized secret treasures. Using her beak, she nudged a small, perfectly round brown acorn onto the floor. It rolled once and then stopped, revealing a tiny crack running down one side. "Look at this," she chirped. "I found it yesterday. Broken, yes, but if you hold a truly broken acorn in your hand," she demonstrated, rolling it gently to Shorty, "you realize it has already done its biggest job. It has housed the seed. Its shell is no longer needed for protection, but for nourishment." Shorty picked up the acorn, turning the cracked shell over in his paw. "What does that mean for us, night chicken?" "It means we stop trying to be an unbroken shell," Shy declared, straightening her stance. "We stop running ourselves ragged trying to be everywhere at once. Exhaustion is just the enemy's newest tool. The strategy of the broken acorn is this: we rest and we become clever." Shy then explained her plan. Instead of guarding the entire length of the fence, they would use the exhaustion itself. They would take the most visible, easiest point of attack, a sagging section of the fence near the old corn stalks, and simply lay a clever trap. A noisy, frustrating, non-harmful trap, built from Skinny discarded rusty cans and Shorty's sharp eyesight. They would let Larry and Rory think they had easy access, only to be confounded by a small, chaotic symphony of noise and confusion. They spent 10 quiet minutes planning the deployment of the noise cans. By the time they were done, the exhaustion hadn't vanished, but the spirit of weariness had. Skinny eyes were bright again, full of the mischief that made him such a good strategist. Shorty gave a single satisfied nod. "That is not a bridge, night chicken," Shorty whispered, laying his head down on a bed of hay. "That is a trick, a brilliant, restful trick." Shy settled down between her 2 loyal friends. The night was cold, but the garden shed was warm. The losses were real, but the bonds were stronger than any wooden fence. They would rest now, not because they were defeated, but because the night chicken knew that true courage sometimes means saving your energy for the perfectly timed wink of an eye. That's the end of tonight's story, and now comes my favorite part. Let's close our eyes, listen to some soft music, and dream about Shy's next adventure. And while she's out there defending the night, we can sleep easy, knowing she's there, keeping us safe. Sleep tight, everyone. And don't bite any bed bugs.